Pain. Probably looks a little bit worse than it is, but I don't really have that much power in this arm. But can you imagine that this arm was the bad arm when I went into the hospital? We're gonna take this back a couple of days ago to when I first started to realize that something was wrong. I don't know if you can see this, but my right arm is incredibly swollen when you compare it to my left. And I was at the doctor's the other day, and they said it's probably nothing to worry about. And then I went to the emergency room yesterday, and they said that it's probably 3 options. Either I have a muscle inflammation, a rupture, or a blood clot. I really hope that they found out what it is, because the swelling right now is pretty intense. And also you can see these marks on my arm. They weren't there before. It doesn't really hurt when I'm using my arm, except for in my armpit. At first I thought it was nothing, because it came after me and my buddy Ulle was out camping, and I used the axe for an extended period of time. And as I was using this axe, I felt in my arm that I got a really, really intense pump. But since this is very common within the bodybuilding realm that you get a pump in your muscles, I didn't really think more about it, because it felt like something that I have experienced before. A few days passed and I did have some swelling in my arm still, but I decided to go to my buddy Robin to make this tattoo. Robin, thanks so much. I'm super proud of the tattoo. I think it looks amazingly good. Consistency kind of sums up my last 13 years within the bodybuilding and videography game. I'm gonna drop his Instagram down below if you want to head over and check it out. But then 2 days after I made the tattoo, I decided to go into the ER because I felt that something was not really right, and I wanted someone with a professional expertise to see what it could be with my arm and if my theory was right. And what they said was that, yeah, you know, Peter, it looks like a strained muscle, so probably not something you have to worry about. You just go home and rest, don't lift anything heavy. And since this was my theory as well, I thought like, okay, it's probably not gonna be anything serious. So I headed home and I got some well-deserved rest. 3 days after the visit to the ER, I had my buddy Jonas over for a photography session here in the studio.
Hey, my dude!
My dude! How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Do you want to explain what we're going to do today?
We're going to take some portrait photos of you, I think.
This man is pro. Again, if you haven't followed him on Instagram, do it. Are you going to use a 3-point lighting setup?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to use one main light, like a softbox with an octabox, and then we're using 2 strip boxes as rim lights to create some depth and dimension.
Sweet.
Verkligen svullet alltså. Det måste vara någon typ av muskelinflammation. Ja. Fast grejen är, det gör ju liksom inte så jävla ont.
Done with the photos inside. Now we're gonna move outside to take a little bit of living shots. Säger man så? Do you think it's too windy?
This softbox might not be the best for windy situations, but I have a sandbag here, so let's hope that it's enough.
Nice feel. We were a little bit hesitant if we should actually go out and shoot, but we decided to do it anyways because otherwise it would be a missed opportunity, especially with a master of lighting. Perfetto mundo, eh? Satisfied with the shoot? And that, my friends, is how you properly handle your gear.
Should I attach this next time or?
Yeah, probably. We had a great time. He is a fantastic dude to work with, especially when it comes to photos and lighting and flash photography, because he's really good at what he does. But I felt that day that there's still something wrong with my arm and can't really put the word on what it is. So I decided that after I was done here in the office, I headed directly to the doctor's office for a second opinion. And the first thing the doctor said when he saw my arm was, "Peter, how long have you been walking with that? Because that looks definitely like a blood clot." Things like this definitely makes you think a little bit longer on life and what can happen in a short period of time. And the strangest part about the whole thing is that everything seems to have been caused by a camping trip. That is what scares me the most. It's day 2 on the ICU, and currently have a tube in my right arm going all the way up. The blood clot is somewhere here. Another 3 tubes in my left arm, and 1 tube in my penis. Definitely a little bit blurring, and have absolutely felt better. But since the blood clot was 20 centimeters long, they decided to go in and solve it directly, because otherwise it could be life-threatening and it could spread to the lungs, which it already had, but very small ones. My arm starts to feel a lot better, but this arm, I don't know if you can see how small it is. I can barely move it. Hopefully I'm getting out of here today, but we don't know. So what is happening now is that I still need to take some very strong blood thinners because I do have some clots in my lungs that are not dissolved yet. And I also am going to go back to do a surgery to move this vein that caused the blood clot to begin with. Because what has caused this is most likely too much muscle mass or too much workout. Something that I've been doing over a long period of time that has made the vein like be tighter and tighter because it has been pushed out by the muscle mass around it. So I guess you can say that doing the bodybuilding for over 13 years has caused this to be in a place where when I put my arm like this, it strangles the vein when my muscles get pumped. I gotta say, I have been very worried and I've been very scared. And it has definitely been something that I never in my wildest dreams could have thought of. And I'm very lucky that I went back in, got a second opinion, and met some really good doctors the second time that decided to take me in. Because if I didn't, And if I decided to just walk around with this could have actually caused me to die if things went really sideways. It has definitely made me think a whole lot on the like stress factor that I've been putting on myself, because I think that everything in combination might have been leading up to this in a way. And I'm glad to be able to have this as my daytime job, and I'm even more glad to be having you right next to me, supporting me and being there for me when things like this is happening. So thank you so much for all the kind words once again, and I really hope that that I'm gonna come back with some fun videos during the fall. But I'm probably not gonna be uploading as much now, and if you see like some weird looking hands or fingers, then you probably know why it looks like that when I'm doing my unboxings and stuff. It's a wild ride and it could have been way worse, so I'm very grateful to be where I'm at.